Hi and welcome to Message Netflix. The year 2022 was filled with sci-fi awesomeness, including movies about the multiverse, enhanced technologies, and profound imaginary worlds. These films originate from a wide range of cultures, countries, and even formats, but what ties them together is their extraordinarily high quality and richness of creativity. From weird independent sci-fi films to big-budget blockbusters, here are the 10 best sci-fi movies of 2020. Do that, you should watch right now. Number 10. After Yang. It is a 2022 science fiction drama film directed by Kaganata. The plot revolves around Jake and Kyra, who gave their adoptive daughter Mika a robotic brother named Yang, a recently sold artificial child they bought through authorized reseller Second Siblings instead of from his original manufacturer Brothers and Sisters Corporation. However, when Yang shuts down, Jake tells Mika that he will get her brother restored to normal as quickly as possible, but as they search through Chang's computer's memory, Jake and Kyle will learn a lot about Yang's background and the actual source of his consciousness. This film is more about the pain of a family who has lost their beloved android, so don't expect any action. It is a slow-burning science fiction film with an emotional, thought-provoking plot, gorgeous visuals, and excellent production design. And the film has a 6.7 rating on IMDb and a 68% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 9. Moonfall. I think Roland Emmerich is the undisputed leader of apocalyptic sci-fi films. He has provided us with amazing films over the years, including 2012, The Day After Tomorrow, and Independence Day. Although his most recent movie, Moonfall, hasn't been received as well as some of his earlier works, sci-fi fans should still take a look at it. The plot begins when an unknown force throws the moon out of rotation and sends the moon crashing towards the Earth with just weeks till collision and the planet on the verge of extinction. NASA official and retired astronomer Joe Fowler tries to recruit a fellow astronaut from her past, Brian Harper, and a conspiracy theorist named Casey Houseman for an unimaginable journey into orbit to stop the moon from crashing into the Earth. The film is a visual feast for anyone who enjoys post-apocalyptic and world-ending films, so check it out. It's a fun watch, and the film has a 5.1 rating on IMDb and a 70% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 8. The Long Walk. It is a sci-fi mystery film directed by Maddie. The story centers on an elderly man who travels the unpaved highways, connecting his remote farm and the surrounding rural community with a lonely ghost whose passing he observed 50 years ago. For years, the old man's grief over his mother's death from tuberculosis has fueled an obsessive desire to reduce the suffering of the terminally ill, and he has secretly executed numerous sick women over the years. However, when he finds that his ghostly friend can take him back through time, the old man enters his old self to set in motion strategy to influence his teenage self to save his mother's life. It is a film that gives a fresh take on sci-fi, effectively blending paranormal and time-traveling theory into a creative genre-bending story that should be at the top of your watch list. And the film has a 6.9 rating on IMDb and a 96% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 7. The In-Between. It is a 2022 sci-fi romance film starring Joey King and Kyle Allen. The movie follows Tessa, who does not think she deserves her unique love story, but all that shifts when she meets Skylar, a student from a nearby town who is a romantic at heart. But as her emotions is starting to open, heartbreak comes as Skylar dies in a car accident. But Tessa lives after the accident. As Tessa looks for explanations, she quickly comes to believe that Skylar is trying to reach her from the afterlife, and she decides to make one final attempt to get in touch with Skylar in hopes of giving their love story the spectacular ending it deserves. Every science fiction film doesn't have to involve aliens or a strange universe. It is a romantic sci-fi movie with supernatural elements. So if you are a die-hard sci-fi action fan, skip this one. But if you are open to all sci-fi movies, add this to your watch list. You might enjoy it. And the movie has a 5.9 rating on IMDb and a 64% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 6. The Adam Project. It is a 2022 sci-fi action-adventure film starring Ryan Reynolds and Mark Ruffalo. The plot centers on Adam, a time-traveling pilot from the year 2050 who ends up trapped in the year 2022 after embarking on an unapproved operation. There he encounters his 12-year-old self, and the two Adams must cooperate to achieve the elder Adam's goal, which is to return to 2018 to save his wife's life and defeat an unidentified enemy who is attempting to grab control of time travel technology. With the tables turned against them, Big Adam and Little Adam believe their only option is to track down the man who invented time travel. Their late father. The Adam Project was a terrific Netflix sci-fi film with a charming story blending outstanding action scenes, great character humor and a few bits of pleasingly emotional cheesiness. And the movie has a 6.7 rating on IMDb and a 74% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 5. Vesper. It is a 2022 sci-fi mystery film set in a post-apocalyptic universe where humanity has made significant investments in genetic engineering technology in an effort to avert the approaching environmental crisis. However, it was unsuccessful and all of the created viruses and creatures ended up being released into the nature where they destroyed massive populations of humans, animals, and agricultural plant species. While the rest of the world fights to survive, the elite live in fortified cities known as citadels. People rely on the seeds sold by the citadels to provide them with food, but there is a catch. Each seed is engineered to provide only one harvest. The main story follows Vesper, a teenage girl who lives with her disabled father Darius. But when a Citadel vessel collapses nearby, Vesper must use her intellect, courage, and biohacking skills to battle for the future. The film takes immense satisfaction in developing its universe, which is both aesthetically and thematically interesting. This one will surprise you, so don't miss it. And the movie has a 6.2 rating on IMDb and a 67% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 4. Nope, believe me. This will be the most unique sci-fi film you will see this year. It features a wild concept that stretches your mind beyond your imagination and a small reminder: do not look at clouds. It is a 2022 sci-fi horror film directed by Jordan Peele. The film follows OJ and Emerald Haywood, two horse-wrangling cousins, as they make a video on their little ranch and witness strange incidents such as their lights being out and their animals responding to mysterious energies. But when they witness a giant UFO flying over the ranch and killing people in the most horrifying ways imaginable, their world is turned upside down as the siblings attempt to capture video proof of a suspicious object in the sky. With the help of a computer seller and the renowned cameraman, matters go tragically haywire, putting all of their lives at risk. The only flaw in the film is its climax. Otherwise, it is a masterpiece and one of the best sci-fi movies in recent times. And the movie has a 6.9 rating on IMDb and a 69% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 3. Alienoid. It is a 2022 sci-fi fantasy action film directed by Choi Dong-hoon. The film depicts an unusual story that emerges in 2022 when the portal of time opened between both the ancient Goryeo and the current Goryeo kingdom. When ancient Goryeo century sorcerers go in search of a mythical time-bending sword, they unintentionally cross paths with advanced Goryeo Empire individuals who are on the search for a deadly alien hiding inside a human's body as a consequence. Two timelines clash, resulting in complete mayhem where everything is interconnected. Alienoid is an action-packed comedy with the perfect amount of time travel. While film struggles at times to balance many storylines, it constantly attempts to achieve its purpose except for a few scenes. The CGI is more than satisfactory and the story is extremely high concept, which gives you a delightful experience. And the film has a 6.4 rating on IMDb and an 89% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 2. Prey. It is a 2022 sci-fi horror action film directed by Dan Trachtenberg. This film was successful because it managed to acknowledge what previous movies did not. The core elements of Predator movies are competition and head souvenirs, but most importantly, the adrenaline of an unbreakable chase. The film takes place in 1719 on the Great Plains and follows Nehru, a stunning Comanche woman who is certified as a healer but dreams of being a great hunter like her brother. She grew up watching some of the strongest and most renowned hunters of the Great Plains, so when a terrifying creature assaults her town, she tries to protect her community. The beast she hunts and ultimately faces is a fully advanced alien monster with scientifically superior weapons that enjoys killing people. If you want to take a break from the regular sci-fi action, watch this. You will not be disappointed. From the gripping plot to the visually spectacular aesthetics and direction, all of it has been executed very flawlessly. And the movie has a 7.2 rating on IMDb and a 72% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 1. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It is a 2022 sci-fi action-adventure film directed by Daniels. To be honest, regardless of genre, this is one of the best films of the year. It stars Michelle Yeoh as Evelyn Wang, a Chinese immigrant who unwittingly becomes entangled in an epic adventure in which she must join numerous variants of herself in parallel universes in order to fight someone who intends to destroy the universe. The major conflict begins when reality is split apart by an interdimensional rift, forcing Evelyn to use her recently acquired abilities to confront weird and confusing villains throughout the multiverse as the planet's future is at stake. Overall, it is an extraordinary, entirely unique blend of action, comedy, adventure, sci-fi and kung fu films, and the movie has an 8.1 rating on IMDb and an 89% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video and do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.